Okay, welcome back, folks. This is part 2 of formatting a page, title page, and table of contents. What I'm going to do is start off. This will be your title page. Let's make that centered. Let's go to the bottom and put a date. Okay. That should be centered as well. Okay, remember, depending on your school, you might have your professor, classes, etc. You may have some information here addressing your class, your school, your professor's name, maybe your team members if it's a group project. But that depends, of course, on what school, what you're doing. So this will be, let's say, the first page, introduction. Okay, that's going to be, I'll highlight this and make that a heading 1 and centered. Okay, so I'm working with APA format. You may use MLA, Chicago, a host of other formatting procedures, styles, I guess. But this is APA. If you use Chicago, MLA, there are some differences, but you'd have to look at your reference book. So that's a heading 1. Let's call this student, teacher. Okay, those two will be a heading 2. So let's highlight that. Click heading 2. It's going to be 12 point. Times New Roman, black. Okay. Now, a quick trick, rather than going through those 3 or 4 steps I just did, a little tip is Format Painter. Highlight this, click Format Painter, and then the next heading 2. And that will mimic what we did here. So that's a nice feature to remember. Okay, so let's go down here. Let's say we have another page. Call this school. Okay, that'll be another heading 1. We'll do a couple heading 2. Let's do project 1. And again, these are subheadings of school. Heading 1. Project 2. Project 3. Let's go up here. I'm going to highlight this. Now another trick with the Format Painter. Click it twice. Now it allows you to use that format feature as many times as you want. If you only click it once, you can only do a Format Painter once. If you click it twice, it's unlimited. Okay. And then click it again to undo it. Okay, let's just save this in case for some reason we lose it. Call it part 2. Okay. Let's do one more. Let's call this history of school. Okay, that's going to be a heading 1. Bold. Okay, centered. Let's go. Let's give it a couple. Let's go. Football. Football. Music. Art. This a couple heading 2 categories. Okay. Let's highlight this. Format Painter. Click twice. Come back down. And let's format these. Unclick. Okay, that disables Format Painter. Save it. Now, let's go back here. Remember, we have the title page. Now, this is a little tricky part. We want to make a break between this, the title page, and make this a whole nother section. How do we do that? Put your cursor here. Go to Page Layout, Breaks, because we want to make a break between section 1, which is this, and section 2. So I do this. There are probably multiple ways to do this. Go to next page. So it puts the cursor down on this in the introduction area. Now we want to number this section without numbering this. How do we do that? Go to Insert, Page Numbering. Let's first check out what format is at the default. Format Page Numbering. Okay, that's good. And we want to start on page 1. Normally that would be normally where you start. Then go back to page numbering, and let's insert. I like to use bottom of page right, and that would be this one. Click here. Now, if you see this yellow link to previous, it's a critical step. You want to break the link from section 2 to section 1. Otherwise, that numbering will go up and down. So break that link, go up, page up, and then we're going to delete that. Okay. Close the header and save. Let's see how we look. There's nothing here. The second section, where we start with introduction, page 1, page 2, page 3, etc. Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm going to end here. Part 3 is going to show you how to insert the table of contents, which is a little tricky, and that'll complete the whole page. So I will see you at part 3.